Welcome to the series of online lectures, online classes for the preparation of KEA exam for the eligibility of assistant professorship. This is the lecture number 5 that we are having today, and I welcome all the listeners to this class once again. Today, we are going to speak about drama, the first unit in your syllabus. And I'm happy to tell you that we have a young and dynamic resource person who will be speaking with us today. At the outset, I welcome Sri Rajshekhar Gowda Mulimani sir to this online lecture series. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Akshay. I'm very much
Yes,
glad to join all of you.
yes, yes, sir. So I would like to introduce you to all the listeners today. So, dear listeners, we have with us Sri Rajshekhar Mulimani sir, who is working at present. Is working as assistant professor in government first grade college, Telsang. Sir is from Yalwar, a village in Devarhippargi taluk of Vijaypur. He has completed his post graduation in English, and he has also cleared the prestigious KSET and NET examinations. Sir has also completed PG diploma in communication in English from Karnataka State Open University, Mysore. I am very happy to announce that Sir has stood first to the state in the exam conducted by KPSC for the post of PU college lecturers in 2009. Along with this, Rajshekhar sir has also been the topper of assistant professor examination conducted by KEA in the year 2017, and as a result, he has been appointed in government first grade college at Telsang. Sir has a lot of research papers to his credit. He has published in various reputed journals. Sir has also presented several seminars, several papers in national and international conferences. He has been a resource person in various workshops as well. I think Rajshekhar sir is very apt kind of a resource person today because he has been the topper in the two competitive exams conducted by KEA. So he will be the most beneficial resource person today, and we are happy to have him to train us all. So, with this brief introduction, I welcome Rajshekhar sir once again wholeheartedly to this online lecture series, and our listeners are definitely going to be benefited with your resourceful knowledge, sir. So, I welcome you once again.
Thank you very much once again, Professor Akshay. You
Yes.
are a very dear friend of mine. But thank you very much for those nice and generous words of appreciation for me. Some of them are I at the outset. I would like to tell my friends, aspirants, that. Uh, Akshay sir said that this present lecture would definitely be a very beneficial one. I don't know, that is something which you should tell us after the lecture, but uh, without beating around the bush, let me just straight away take up the topic which is allotted, topic which is given to me is drama, the unit dedicated for British drama. But before that, as say the stage that you find yourself in, right? What you are going through, I have gone through that phase in my life. The days of competition, the days of struggle, the days of aspirations, right? That grinding, I know very well. So I would like to just share a couple of things. I don't think I would be off the mark if I share and um, reveal some of the things. which I consider very very essential, right? Mhm. You can leave a comment. Sir has told me that you cannot speak, but you can leave your comments. Even in between, also, I would be observing, and even sir would also bringing that to my notice. And whichever I think needs to be commented upon, taken up for discussion, I will be doing that. So feel free to post your comments, opinions, or your thoughts. Right? Okay. Now, see, competitive exams are always a very tough nut to crack, we all know, but they are not impossible ones. Right? All of you are very much eligible. Say you have obtained eligibility, that itself shows that you are competent, you have the potential. Now, having the competency and potential is something basic, that is very much needed. What else is needed is to have to develop proper insight into the insight of the topics that we need to prepare on the syllabus, the entire syllabus. Okay. Now, for our batch there was a different syllabus. This time they have made it a little different. In our batch, the focus was upon the syllabus for our batch, largely focused upon individual works. The number of works, I'm sure you must have, all of you must have gone through. The focus was on the individual texts of the authors. Right, there were, I think, hundreds of texts. But now, this time, the focus is on the writers and focus is on the forms and genres of literature. That's what I understand. Then how do we prepare? How do What is the way, what is the method? In my opinion, to prepare, first extensive reading of all the things related to that particular writer is very much necessary. Okay, extensive reading. You read all, whatever you get, whatever material you find on related to that particular writer, whom you have taken up for preparation and study. You need to first go through, you need to do vast, extensive reading. And then after that, you need to analyze, you need to do a kind of analysis of what are the most essential things that I should know about this writer. That kind of understanding, that kind of judgment you need to arrive at, that is very very important. Or else you cannot be sure what is important, what do I need to prepare on this writer, and what should I leave. Okay, what should I focus upon? What are the important areas that I should know about this particular writer? I think you must have wondered, you must have got these kind of things in your mind. Then how to arrive, how to understand, means what are the things that I should know about this particular writer, or about this particular genre, this particular form of literature. One standard and one proven way is to go through standard sources of information, standard references, texts. There, whatever they have listed, whatever information they have provided about the author or about the form, about the genre, that is an indicative of the things that you should focus upon. That should make you understand, oh, these are the things which I should know about this particular author. That should make you, okay, that should indicate you about the things that you need to focus upon. Okay. Then along with that, one other thing is preparing, reading, understanding is one thing. One other equally important thing is, most of the times I have seen I have seen this happening with myself, and I have seen many of my friends, many of my younger friends uh, committing this mistake, doing this error. It is very much there. What we do is, in the eagerness to prepare and do well, we go on reading and reading all the mind, all the time. What we would be after is to, it is like gobbling up. We just consuming one after another, one book after another. We just we keep on reading and reading newer things. Then we need to pause a little, we need to revise, we need to punctuate our preparation with proper revisions. Revision is as important as reading and understanding. Without that, I'm sure, if you read all the things and if you do not revise properly, then much of what you have read would not support you when it is required. So, planned work, preparation, that is reading, understanding, and revising. And one best way to revise, most of the times it is, we feel bored, we do not we are not interested, or we do not feel like revising things and going through the stuff material which we have already read again and again, right? So one other very effective and interesting way through which we can revise the things that we have read is by attempting quizzes. The most of the, say, there are n number of online quizzes, mm, objective questions. um, there are many dedicated websites which provide these kind of things at the end, or I will share these things with Akshay sir. He may pass that on to you. So there are websites, there are places on internet which will definitely help you in attempting doing those quizzes. Testing yourself is very very essential. You read something and then you feel that you have understood, you know everything about the topic or about the writer that you have read. But then you can be sure that gets confirmed only by testing your knowledge, your understanding of that writer or the topic. So preparing, revising, and testing are the three cornerstones of your preparation, in my opinion. They should be. These are the three things which I think all of us should do. These things should form essential part of our preparation. If you have read, then you must revise and test, then only you can move on to another topic. Before you do, before testing yourself, if you move on, then I think you are committing a kind of great mistake, harakiri, in a sense. Testing yourself is as essential, as crucial as reading itself. When you test yourself, then when you take a quiz, online quiz, then you will come to know what are the gray areas where you have done, where you have done good and where you have gone bad, where you haven't understood. You think that you have understood, but then in testing you will come to know. So you attempt those questions and then at the end you get the scoring, and then kind of analysis you can make, right? To what question you have attempted, you have given correct answer and we have given wrong answers. If you have given wrong, then that should make you understand where, why did I miss. Even though you had read, even then you have missed, means those kind of, that kind of analysis, that kind of understanding should make you understand about yourself, about your way of preparation, about usually what is your own, what is your own means, where do you tend to miss, Okay, so repeated practice and repeated understanding of these things will definitely provide you uh, a kind of insight into the topics. Okay, developing insight comes with reading and testing, not with reading alone. It is a little difficult. So developing insight is a key thing. So the this is something which I think, which I thought is essential. Remember, preparation, revision, and testing. There are some other ways in which through which you can test your knowledge of the topics that you have prepared. Those things, I have made a list of those things, and I will just pass on those things to Akshay sir. He will share those with you, right? So now let us move on to the topic that is there for us. It is British drama. Let me share the screen. So this is the syllabus. The topic that is given to us is drama. Now this unit is, it covers very vast period of literature, very vast period of drama, that is beginnings of the English drama, beginnings of English drama, that happens, say, way back medieval period, right? And after that, mystery plays, and miracle to morality plays, the castle of perseverance, every man, and mankind. Then history and background of Elizabethan theatre. Elizabethan theatre, it commences from 1600, um, 1500 to 1640, right? Elizabethan playwrights and university wits: Christopher Marlowe, Robert Greene, Thomas Kidd, and William Shakespeare. Now, these writers, say particularly Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Kidd, and William Shakespeare, I will not talk anything about, means I will talk very little about William Shakespeare, because these are the kind of writers on whom hours of lecture will also be not enough. So what we at the best can do is to provide a kind of highlights, the things that are needed to be understood about them. What are the things that we should know about Christopher Marlowe? Christopher Marlowe as a dramatist, what kind of a dramatist he was, what are the major elements that we find in his drama, and there are a few other things, we will come to that. Then restoration drama, comedy of manners. Again, William Isherley and William Congreve are two major writers of this type of drama that is known as comedy of manners. Then modern playwrights, there you have John Galsworthy, George Bernard Shaw, T.S. Eliot, and J.M. Singh. Development of post-war drama, it is a very difficult terrain. Development of post-war drama, history of American drama, that this particular topic we will leave this one for tomorrow. This and this one, these two, I will not talk about. I will not talk anything about these two. These two we will talk tomorrow. About this, these are the fields, right? Now, beginnings of the English drama. If we trace the beginnings of English drama, then that will take us to this period. This period means it is the medieval period. Okay. The drama in England, be it drama, be it poetry, or be it any kind of writing, literature, we all know England didn't have any independent origin. It borrowed all that it wrote, the forms and other formative elements from either Greek source or Italian sources, right? So likewise in the case of drama also the same thing happened. The drama in England had a religious origin. Drama had a religious origin, see, in the sense that during that period, medieval period we are talking about, Romans, I think, had entered England way back in fourth century, and they left in second, third. I'm not very particular sure about that thing, but they left England by mid fifth century. Okay, so after that, the English people, um, they for as they were Christians, Catholic Christianity. They used to, the clergy people, most of the dramas of medieval period, dra- they were liturgical means related to church, related to scriptures. So the church people, like father and other people, they felt the need to educate the masses, educate the public about the sayings of Jesus Christ and about the things which are there in the Bible. How to convey, how to make the illiterate people understand the things which are there. So they could not read the Bible, they were not educated, so they used to tell. Apart from that, they thought there was a need to make the teachings of the Bible more appealing to the public. So for that reason, they started talking or saying loudly in the church space itself. That was the beginning of drama. So that's why the drama in England, and for that matter any other form of literature, any other genre, it had religious origin. Okay. So then after that, by and by, they started, people started gathering in large number. They wanted to hear the teachings and gesture making and all that. Those things appeal to them. They used to wear mask and all that stuff. So after that, what happened was, since there was large crowd, church didn't have that kind of space to accommodate the large public. So for that reason, it went outside. They went outside first in the churchyard, in the camp, within the premises of the church, and later on when it got out of control, or um, in I think 13th century, maybe around roughly 1210, the king passed an order which prohibited the church people from indulging in such activities like doing drama, enacting the things, right? uh, they stopped doing those things, but by that time people had got they had developed a kind of liking for these kind of peasants. And peasants are nothing but demonstrations. So it was in great demand. So for that reason, now this guilds, the drama was passed over to the town guilds or trade unions. There used to be these guilds. Guilds were the groups of craftsmen. Each different craftsmanship had a different guild of its own, and those people, they took it on themselves. They took the responsibility of organizing these peasants, right? So these are the examples of peasants. This peasant wagon, these are known as peasant wagon. Medieval period theaters, medieval period dramas were enacted in this manner. You can see this wagon means vehicle, right? And there this vehicle used to move around in a pre-decided manner. It used to move around at different places, and at strategic places it used to stop, and there on that there used to be certain number of actors, and they used to wear all those things, paraphernalia and all that, and they used to enact the drama. And this is how the drama started growing. And these miracle and mystery plays, actually miracle play it comes later, mystery, right? A mystery plays, the beginning was made with the mystery play. What are mystery plays? The mystery plays are the plays, they are a kind of drama which dealt with the uh, teachings of the Bible, scripture based dramas, the teachings, right, of about the Jesus Christ, mysteries, mystery plays, and miracle plays. Miracle plays, miracle plays, they dealt with the life and miracles performed by the saints. It was about the saint. I think I will just share a kind of clue, the way in which you can remember. See, mystery, it consists of this mister means Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is synonymous with Bible, right? Mystery plays deal with the Bible. They enact the teachings of Bible, scripture based dramas. And miracle, Mira, I think you know, miracle. This word has this Mira, whereas Mira, famous saint of India, right? So Mira, a saint. I think it was in. She used to live during the medieval Indian period. So in that way, you can remember Mira stands for a saint of India. So miracle plays, they deal with the lives and teachings of and miracles performed by saints. And mystery plays deal with Bible scriptures, right? The first deals with the life of saints. The second handle the incidents from the Bible. And this, in one other aspect, this miracle and mystery plays are significant. Till then, when the dramas were enacted, when the dramas were in the hands of clergymen, they used to do that in Latin. But when this was passed on, when the baton was passed on in the hands of these craftsmen guilds, then they adopted the vernacular language. Vernacular language means the English or the language which the masses knew, and which the masses, large public, common people used and understood, and that was a kind of English, old English. So the mystery and miracle plays used to be enacted with vernacular language. They used vernacular language, and they used non-biblical passages for the purpose of entertainment. Mystery plays and miracle plays, they contained in some parts, their one of the objectives was to inform, educate, and along with that entertain as well. So in this way the element of this thing entered, entertainment, okay, entered. Then remember all these things. Mystery and miracle plays, they began from 12th 13th century, and they remained up to 15th, and some of them, some even 16th century as well. Miracle and mystery place. And later this went on happening. Morality play, mystery and miracle plays, it sometimes it overlaps. There is no fixed watertight compartment. M- in one particular way, morality play is different from mystery and morality plays, mystery and miracle plays. That is, morality play, it went one step away from religion. And morality play, it focused on the moral conflict of an ordinary man between good and evil. Means mystery and miracle plays, they dealt with something godly. All these dramas, they talked about god, spirituality, life after the death, and all other things. Okay, it was not about the human beings, it was not about the people. But morality play, the focus is on the life on the earth, and the problems, conflicts faced by the common man, and the struggle which one makes, the choice which one has to make between the good and the evil, the path of uh, virtuosity, right? So this, but then you should understand, they still centered on religion. The thought process and all that, they lingered on religion. These morality plays, they predominantly demonstrated, they represented the struggle of soul in Christian terms. See, atonement, then this salvation. To obtain salvation, one has to go through the atonement. One should atone for one's sins, then only one can um, obtain salvation. That is the idea. And morality plays, they specifically dealt with these thought elements. This once again is an example of peasant van. Apart from the thematic concerns, what kind of stories were narrated and enacted by miracle plays or mystery plays and those things? One other area, mm, which we should understand is the kind of the theater which these dramas were enacted upon. What was the kind of the theater? See, this is the one example of the theater: stationary staging. These, the background scenes, they were known as mansions, and the platform on which the actors performed, that area is known as platea, and these were the audience, right? And from age to age, these things, they changed. There were some additions and deletions that we will be talking about. Once again, this, the morality play, the purpose of the morality play, they made the Christianity more real to the audience, right? Means the theme was not about the god and the life after birth, but about the usual problem crisis which we, the human beings, go through in our life, and the path which we should adopt to obtain salvation. See, the more these things, I think we cannot we see definitely we do not have the luxury of time to discuss about all these things. And there are certain things I think which you are not aware of about the this apron stage, those things. But this material, I will just leave these things with Akshay sir. He will share those things with you. And see, the castle of perseverance, every man. These are the one of the most popular examples of this morality plays, right? So you must have gone through those things. No need to highlight those. Apart from that, I would like to move on. I would like to move on to the history and background of Elizabethan theatre. Right. History and background. Now, what are the things that we need to know about history and background of Elizabethan theatre? About the important, about the university Wits, about Christopher Marlowe, Robert Greene, Thomas Kidd, and William Shakespeare. Okay. Now, see, with this, with the beginning of the Elizabethan theatre, we enter into altogether a different kind of theater. Now, the theater and the playwrights are very much independent. The playwrights have become professional. Earlier, the playwrights were not professional, they had some other profession, and they used to indulge in these kind of playwriting as part of their main profession, main job. Okay. So what was that? What is that? Then in what way these things became different? As I said, this Elizabethan theatre writing, the writers, they were professional. It is very easy for you to understand that thing with the help of the group of writers known as university wits. Okay. So university wits, who were university wits? It is not interactive.
Sir, is there any problem? Sir, is there any problem?
No, I mean a message. Sir, what is increase the screen size of your
Oh,
presentation thereby zooming.
down there you have zoom option, no? 100%, 80% there. But your presentation is not seen, sir, on the screen. Just add
Not
it
seen.
once again. Not seen. Not presentation. Your screen. You had shared your screen. Somehow
Hmm.
it has got disconnected from here.
Is it?
Huh.
Okay, okay.
Just now. It happened just now. It was visible so far.
Huh.
Huh.
No, I
You
pressed
just add it.
this thing screen. No,
Huh.
is it visible now?
Not yet, sir. uh, click on the share button, sir, and share the screen. Share the entire
Hmm.
screen.
Okay.
Not able to see it yet, sir.
Hmm. Hmm.
Any network issue, sir?
I think it is okay here. Is it?
You are visible, but your screen is not visible. Or can we do with these slides that you have added already? If they are okay?
Though those slides do not
Uh,
contain much.
yeah, and the
Mm.
font is too small here.
Hmm. No problem. Shall I just continue?
Yeah, yeah. You can do one thing, sir. You can share the same PPT to me on WhatsApp. I can share it on Telegram.
Hmm.
Okay,
That
sir.
I will do. I will
Yeah, yeah,
just after the class I will just share that
yeah.
thing.
Sure,
Then
sure, sure.
and there are a few other things I will just include them
Hmm.
in that presentation, and you can share those things.
Fine, fine, sir. No problem.
Uh, Let us talk a little more about this Elizabethan theatre, then we can wind up, isn't it?
Sure, sir.
Hmm?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Continue, sir.
So yeah, so moving on about the Elizabethan period, Elizabethan theatre in the syllabus. Elizabethan theatre, why it is regarded as Elizabethan theatre, that we all know, because Queen Elizabeth was the queen. It was her reign, and she was there from I think 1558, right? And this particular period, this particular stage till later on. 1642 was the year in which theatres were banned. The theatres were closed. um, and as I have already told you, professional writers, professional dramas, professional playwrights came onto the scene, and the performances dramas were enacted. Dramas were not meant for reading, particularly at that time. During that phase, dramas were written for the purpose of performance, enactment. For the reading purpose, that concept came much later on, and those dramas are known as closet dramas. Closet dramas are meant for reading, not for enacting. And so for that reason, the dramas written during Elizabethan period, they are always performed outside, outdoors, uh, not within a hall or church premises and all that. And about these elements of drama and dramaturgy, that is one area which I think you need to focus upon. And one other feature, significant feature of this period, the dramas of this period, is the gentlemen, the nobles, people belonging to the nobility, lords, they sponsored and they funded the writers and the dramas and other things as well, like providing costumes, all. They were funded, they were sponsored. And no, after that particular phase, there came this concept of a company. Companies were also owned by either by the king or queen or the famous nobles, right? There were lord kingsmen, lord chamberlain, and all those York Theatre, Rose Theatre, Globe, those are all. And later on, at the later phase, theaters were uh, built. Actual theaters were built. Till then there were these kind of enactments. And one other means, there was no license, there was no control over the content and the dramas which were enacted, because they were privately funded, and the king or the administration didn't have any control. So it is for this particular reason, when the things got out of control during restoration period, the administration, it prohibited, it banned, it put a ban, blanket ban on the dramas, saying that it had dramas indulged in immoral things, they had a corrupting influence on the minds of people, and all such allegations. And Queen Elizabeth, she brought in certain measures through which she tried to get control over the um, kind of dramas which were enacted. And there is one particular instance where she puts a ban on the enactment of dramas related to religious or political issues. Okay. And it was in the year 1574 the first royal patent for an acting troupe was given, and that was James Burbage. Right, remember the year 1574. And later on, there came the Queen's Men and Lord Chamberlain and Lord Admiral. These were the a group of men, a company which were owned by the famous nobility. And one other important thing, I think, which maybe, I'm not sure, one name that you should remember is that of Edward Alleyn. He was the most popular actor, most popular actor during those days. And he is Christopher Marlowe's The Mighty Lines of Marlowe, right? All his dramas were enacted. The lead character, the protagonist, like for example, Dr. Faustus, they were those characters were represented by, enacted on the stage by this Edward Alleyn. And Edward Alleyn was a huge personality, very popular figure among the common as well as among the nobility. All those people used to throng the theaters when he was uh, to put a performance on the given days. That is Edward Alleyn. And even Shakespeare was also a shareholder, and later on he went on to own a theater, right? And say some of the major Elizabethan they have given there. Christopher Marlowe, 1564 to 50. He had a very short span of life, 1564 to 1593, and he was the greatest pre-Shakespearean playwright. And in many ways, in particularly when it comes to writing tragedies, he was the forefather of Shakespeare, right? And he is best known for Dr. Faustus. Marlowe, Christopher Marlowe is best known for his Dr. Faustus. And yeah, there after that you have been, there are many things. Say Christopher Marlowe, about Christopher Marlowe one can go on and on, about talking about his persona, his personality as a writer, what kind of unique contribution he made, about the blank verse used by him. Earlier also he was not the first person to use blank verse to write dramas, but then definitely he elevated the status of blank verse. Much before him, I think Norton and Sackville were the first people to make use of blank verse to write a tragedy, a drama, right? The play is Gorboduc, Ferex and Porrex. But the blank verse used by them was very crude. No, it was not. What is that? It was very crude, and it was very used in a very cumbersome manner. But Christopher Marlowe, he showed the people the grandeur, the kind of effect which the blank verse can have on the audience, the potential of the blank verse was shown to the world by Christopher Marlowe. So, because of that, the lines written by him, hmm, penned by him in his plays, those unforgettable, hard hitting kind of lines. So, that's why they are referred to as mighty lines of Marlowe. Okay, particularly, I think there will definitely be a question on Christopher Marlowe, and more particularly related to Dr. Faustus. Dr. Faustus is one play which has all the representative qualities of the Renaissance drama, Elizabethan theatre. We just need to read and understand that play. That would make us understand all about the kind of the age, mm, which the people had, at that time. Then moving on, we have Thomas Kidd, William Shakespeare, um, such people. About them, I think we will today, or else what I will do, I will just share a couple of the PPTs related to these writers, and they can be shared with you. Then we can once again we will have one more session on this particular unit, particularly on history of American drama and development of post-war drama. Post-war drama is a little challenging. There we think that it is very easy and simple. Harold Pinter, Samuel Beckett, and John Osborne. But about Harold Pinter and Samuel Beckett, their plays are a little tricky. Yeah, we just need to understand certain concepts through which, by which I think we will be able to figure out the kind of the dramas which they wrote. And apart from that, very briefly, once again, we will go through these remaining, which we could not take up for discussion today. That is restoration drama and modern playwrights as well. That is for that we should have, but because of the paucity of time, we leave will leave these things here only. Akshay sir.
Yes,
So
sir. Thank you
can
so
you go?
much. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So do we have one more session tomorrow?
Yes, sir. It will be at 4 o'clock tomorrow, from
Four
4 to
o'clock.
5. Yes.
4 to 5. Ha.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can continue your discussion on drama in the next class. Um, it was very much informative, sir, and you went into the details. Most importantly, before beginning the discussion on drama, you spoke on some of the important strategies, and you gave some key points to all the aspirants as to how to prepare in general, and that I think was very important, along with the discussion on syllabus.
That is true. What you have said, I accept that, and it is not. I'm sure it is not just for the sake of saying you are saying these things. You mean those, I know, because you are also a highly competent professor. See, once again, I will come back to those things. Preparation. It is, see, literature. It is just, we think that it is mere reading and understanding. That is okay.
Yes,
That is all right. But how much we have understood of what we have read, that confirmation, that we will come to know, we think that we have understood, but what are the areas that we need to focus upon, and what is the right way of understanding and comprehending the things that we have read, those things will become sure and clear only if we test ourselves. Testing is very necessary along with the revision. Test yourself as often as possible, as much as possible. That is, these two things are revising and testing. And how to test, what are the places which provide us with those kind of questions, that I will tell you, or I will just give you the list, no? With this, and we can hopefully discuss those things tomorrow. And if you have got any queries, if you have got
yeah, yeah.
any these things, then you can share those things with Professor Akshay, and I can accordingly include those things. I will try to address those things in tomorrow's session.
Yes, sir.
Mm,
Sir, there are a few questions today, not many questions.
sure.
There is one question. I think you can see it on the screen. Should we read biography of dramatists?
Definitely, you must read biography of the dramatists is as important as reading the dramas itself, particularly the biography of the dramatists like Christopher Marlowe. Many of the times, say, the kind of lifestyle which he had and the kind of personality he had, because of those things and because of the age in which he lived, these things propelled him into writing the kind of dramas which he eventually went on writing. So without understanding the person, we cannot comprehend the plays properly. That's what I feel. That is a must. About William Shakespeare, say, his biography is very much famous, isn't it? We need to otherwise, see, for example, I think it is the writer Robert Greene. Robert Greene, he could not tolerate the growing popularity of William Shakespeare. So that's why he commented upon, he, in a very condescending, in a very teasing manner, he said the line, those phrases are very popular. Shake scene, this shake scene, and upstart, those kind of words Robert
Start
Greene
to
uses for,
later.
yeah. So he uses for Shakespeare. Now, why does he say so? It is because Shakespeare unlike the other playwrights of that period, he was not a university product. He didn't have a proper education. He never went to university. He hardly completed grammar schooling, right? So, because of out of jealousy, Robert Greene comments. He says these things. He uses these words for Shakespeare. Now, unless we read the biography of this Shakespeare, we will not come to know about these things. The background of the writer plays a very crucial role in making us understand and grasp the plays in a proper manner. So, reading the biography is a must. It is always helpful.
Yes, sir. Very true. There is another question, sir. Is it enough to read the dramatists that are mentioned in the syllabus?
And then with what idea this question has been asked, I think is there they have below to the genre form of literature drama. There they have given the names of certain playwrights. In this case, Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Kidd, William Shakespeare, right? Then what he has asked, should we limit our preparation, should we limit ourselves to focusing on these writers and the plays written by them, or should we read and understand about the other writers of that particular period, about the Elizabethan period? See, in my opinion, you should limit your study to the names of the writers given in the syllabus. That is one thing. But having said that, about the characteristic features of the dramas of that particular period, that you should know. You do not have to read about all the dramatists of Elizabethan period, but about the major elements, major characteristic features of the drama of that particular period, that you need to know, right? You need to know about the kind of dramas written during that particular period, not just about these writers, about drama as a whole, Elizabethan theatre, Elizabethan drama. I just made a comment in a passing manner that you need to know about dramaturgy a little, the kind of theatres which the Elizabethan people had. The actors performed on a stage. Now, the all the aspects of that particular theatre, that apron stage, and there are a few other theatrical devices and elements of drama. If we confine ourselves to the reading of Thomas Kidd, William Shakespeare, and Christopher Marlowe, then we will not be covering, we will not come to know about these other things. So, without, I would like to, in a clear manner, I would like to tell you, you need to read about first and foremost important characteristic features of the drama, Elizabethan drama. That is one thing. And another one, about the theatrical devices, about the different parts of the theater, Elizabethan theater. They carry certain names, right? About the mansion, I said platea, and about the balcony machinery. Now these are the terms which they use in connection with the theater. And pit, this is the most common and most popular term. Pit was the place where the groundlings, where the common public laymen used to sit and watch the drama, right? So these are some of the things, major characteristic features of the Elizabethan drama, and the elements of drama in general. Elements of drama you should know, and it applies to all the periods of all the ages of English drama. What are elements of drama? Plot, story, characters. These are the things I think you all know. Those things you need to understand in a clear manner. There are few other things. Let us talk about those things tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It was a detailed discussion on. See, sometimes what happens, sir, when we are just presenting our topic, we miss out certain things, and those are again those come to the foreground of discussion when we get the doubts through the listeners. So I
Very
think
true.
this is
Very
also a
true.
useful session
Yeah.
when we discuss the doubts.
Yeah.
So
No, you
yes,
highlighted, you brought to the discussion a very valid observation you made, sir. See, um, when we talk, when we are giving our presentation, we have certain things. We, with some understanding, we that these are all well-read people. They know, so we need not highlight certain things and all that. Only through your query, through your comments, through your doubts, we come to know these are the things which we need to talk about. Things become clear. So you please post whatever query or confusion you have. We will try to address them, take up for discussion, and we can have a discussion. Professor Akshay is also a very competent professor by himself. So together we can try to discuss and understand the things.
yes, sir. Thank you so much for the compliment, sir.
No, my pleasure, sir.
Okay. There is another question. I think you have already answered to this while answering the previous query. Should we read all the Elizabethan playwrights? Yeah, I think it is important to know all the important playwrights of the time, at least in brief.
Hmm.
Even if we can't read all of them in detail, I think it is important to know who are the chief playwrights of that time. Even the minor
True.
ones, we should know their names at least. Yeah. So I think we have completed all the doubts and queries today, sir. So I think it is time to stop for today.
Yeah.
Um, and dear listeners, if you have any doubts, again you can ask sir in tomorrow's session as well. Again, it will be a discussion on drama, continuing from today's lecture. So thank you very much, sir, for
It's a
sparing
pleasure.
your
It's
time with
always a
us
pleasure.
today. Yes, sir.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much. I
Yes, sir.
thought I would use these things, but I am very much grateful to our friend, my dear friend, Professor Akshay, for inviting me and for giving me this opportunity to share some of my ideas with um my young friends. So feel free to put questions, ask your doubts, and if you got anything to say or add to what has been discussed, that also you can do. You are very much welcome. And let us try to make tomorrow's session as fruitful and as beneficial as possible.
Yes, sir. I'm sure of it, sir. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, sir.
dear listeners, that's all for today. We shall meet tomorrow once again, discussing drama. We will be meeting Rajshekhar sir tomorrow as well. The time is 4 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.